title is Moon over Mongolia. Moon over Mongolia, Dr. Jungle Moon.
Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, and guests. In October of this year, I spent a month in Mongolia as a medical volunteer. These are the excerpts from my website. Ulaanbaatar is a country in Central Asia. It's between China and Russia. It's also between the Gobi Desert and Siberia. So it was a little cold, which I like. It was a little dry, which I like. There were no mosquitoes, and I really like that. I went with this company called Projects Abroad International. It's projectabroad.org. They do this business of sending volunteers like myself to many different countries to help out in any way we can. I found them on the internet. They seemed like an okay company. Most of the comments and the discussions was about how expensive they was. There was no other complaints. And they charged me $2,500 for the month, plus $2,000 for the air trip. And I think it was worth it, because I'm by myself, I don't know the language, it's a strange country. They took care of everything, all the details, all the planning, and whenever there was a problem, which a few times it was, I called the Ulaanbaatar office, and they'd send someone over and fix it right away. I was really glad to have that kind of coverage. Now, most of you are wondering, how was the Mongolian barbecue? I looked it up on Wikipedia. It's not authentic. It was invented in Taiwan. It was put together. It was based on a Japanese cooking style, and they called it Mongolian just to make it sound exotic. If you go to Mongolia and ask for where's the Mongolian barbecue, they'll give you a dumb look, like if you went to China and said, can I have a Chinese fortune cookie? They won't know what you're talking about until you say, I meant American fortune cookie. I went there to volunteer. I went there to help somebody. The problem was, I don't speak Mongolian, and they don't speak English. Only in the capital do a few highly educated people speak English. So if you cannot communicate with your patient, you can't really do a lot of help. So what I did was I spent 2 weeks in a hospital that specializes in open heart surgery and brain surgery. It was fascinating. This is Dr. Dalai, my supervisor. He spoke English well, he was very patient, he was very supportive. But this wasn't why I came. Next slide. So, and in weeks 3 and 4, I was at the infectious disease hospital. I saw a lot of hepatitis, I saw a lot of chicken pox, I even saw a couple of anthrax. I learned a lot. They also spoke English, they helped a lot. But again, this wasn't what I came to do. This is what I came to do. When the police find a homeless child, they put him in this center. They're between the ages of 6 and 16. The organizers at Project Abroad said, you're a doctor, would you like to come and perform physical and medical checkups on these children? We'll provide a translator, and the staff pediatrician will be there to oversee your work. Yes, this is what I came to do. They had medical problems that were horrible, but their stories were even worse. But then we were only given 2 hours to see all 30 children. And we spent an hour doing a presentation and a skit and doing all these other things. An hour left, that's 2 minutes per child. It was impossible. So what was I going to do? Do I do a half-assed job on everybody? Do I try to do everything? Or do I try to do the best I can for what I could? I decided to give the best, most thorough, most complete medical checkups for the kids I could see. I saw 6 kids that day. Next slide, please. And I went home disappointed. But propitiously, I was called in a couple of days by Project Abroad, who said, Dr. Enkma, the pediatrician, was watching me the whole time. And she was so pleased with what I did that she invited me back for 2 full days to see the rest of the children. So this was the team: myself, Dr. Enkma, the pediatrician, Kiri is a medical student from Australia, and an interview, the translator. Those 2 days, she liked so much what we were doing, and more specifically, or especially, how we were treating each child like a real human being, that she invited us to go to another orphanage to see the children there. So we saw a total of 40 6 of them to clinics and needed blood tests. And the department has low funding. They can't afford the medications these kids needed. So the doctor gave me a list. I went to the local pharmacy. I bought the medications we needed, and I donated it to the doctor. Next slide, please. Now, what difference did you make? There are thousands of homeless children in Mongolia. The poverty rate is 30%. Most of their problems, they need more than just quick fixes. They're suffering from malnutrition, from poor hygiene, they have rashes everywhere, and they are absolutely vulnerable to the predators in society. They're suffering from all kinds of assault. What difference can one person really make? Next slide. I made a difference to the child that was in front of me. And then I made a difference to the next child that was in front of me. It wasn't a big difference, but if I wasn't there to do it, no one else was going to be there, and it wasn't going to get done. It was one of the most rewarding weeks of my life. So, the next time you see suffering and injustice in the world, and you want to throw up your hands and say, what kind of difference could I possibly make? Just think, you can make a difference to the person in front of you, the one you're with. Next slide. I'll take questions during the break. Mr. Toastmaster.